This month we have Mercury, ruler of the mental realm, turning to retrograde motion in Virgo. And we have Jupiter, planet of expansion, in a challenging connection with Saturn, planet of limitation. All of this, an empowered moment and more in my new intuitive energy forecast for August 2024. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Colleen, Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from Sacred Soul Empowerment, and it is the month of August. Okay, yay, 8-8 Lion's Gate happens this month, but let's go ahead and show you what we're going to be using to do our reading a little bit later on. We're going to be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, is coming from a brand new deck that I got recently called The Secrets of the Ancestors. And this deck is by Abiola Abrams. So before we get into the astrology for the month, or even looking at our quote-unquote stones of choice, which I have a little special surprise on that, let's go ahead and close our eyes, settle in, and do an empowered moment. So closing your eyes, relaxing your body, and clearing your mind, if you can, of all thoughts, at least in this present moment. Visualizing, sensing, seeing, feeling, or just knowing that you're surrounded with unconditional love and beautiful golden white light of the universe, of great spirit, of all that is. And let's take in a few deep breaths. We've been through a lot over the past few weeks, breathing in that golden white light. That golden white light of protection and healing. Exhaling and releasing all that our body, mind, and soul no longer needs. And keep breathing in and breathing out, breathing in that peaceful, loving, guiding golden white light. Exhaling, letting your body relax even more with each exhale. And silently calling in your angels and guides, master guides and teachers of the highest vibration of light. We call in the archangels, ascended masters, our ancestors, our star family of the highest vibration of light, and we ask for their continued guidance and assistance, messages, wisdom, and knowledge. And this month we've got Mercury, the planet of the mental realm, turning retrograde. So pretty much the whole month of August, Mercury is in this phase of going over the details and paying attention to the small bullet points, paying attention and having more awareness with incoming and outgoing communication. Our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, as well as our communications, are highlighted this month. And this is a time, although there can be technology difficulties and although there can be miscommunication, it is a time when Mercury is retrograde, that he gives us the time to understand, to pay attention, to put our focus on the things that we need to take care of. Tasks, whether they be tasks regarding home and family, or whether they be tasks that are a little bit more daunting as far as moving forward in a new way on our destiny path. Perhaps during last month's full moon in Capricorn, which was a karmic clearing cycle, perhaps that brought up some shifts and redirections where there's new energies unfolding, things being released. And Mercury retrograde is a time where we can again pay attention to each little thing, every little task that we need to. So make your lists, maybe a mental list, but also a physical list of the things that you need to get done this month, the things that you would like to get done this month. Because Mercury starts out in Virgo, which is all about work and tasks and paying attention to each little thing. And then he dips back into Leo, the sign that rules creative self-expression, leadership, take charge ability. So this month is a time to take charge of those things that need attention so that you can plant new seeds, move into new beginnings, or just clean up the debris of the last few weeks and months that have accumulated. So take in a deep breath, holding that intention in your mind, asking your angels and guides for assistance and help in whatever way they can be there to help, guide, assist, or give messages. And thank them and thank yourself for the energy input that you will put forth. Let's do one last deep, healing, cleansing, balancing breath. And as you exhale and in your own time, you can open your eyes and return to this time and place and space. And let's go ahead and look at what normally would be our stones of choice or special intention pendants of choice, but this month I decided to use animal totems, and they're all in the forms of my rings that I'm wearing. So the first animal totem here is the bumblebee. There we go. So the bumblebee, this is going to be for fertility and new choices and new opportunities in your life. The bumblebee gives us multiple choices filled with possibility and promise. So that is your first choice. Your second choice is the cat energy. Now, I decided to choose lion for the totem because it is one of the cats, one of the more well-known cats. So the cat or lion, this is about gentle strength and patience in order to achieve the gold. And what's the gold? It can be your goals. It could be blessings, prosperity, abundance. So again, it's gentle strength and patience in order to achieve the gold, G-O-L-D. This also helps with strength of will, or it's also a totem of strength of will, stealth, cooperation, assertiveness, and feminine power. And then our last totem animal is the dragonfly. This is a double dragonfly here. And the dragonfly is about trusting in the power of light. It's about new joy. It's about emerging from the nymph stage to give expression to what you truly are or who you truly are. And this is about shining your light. So again, we've got to get it off my finger, that bumblebee. We've got the cat, lion. And last but not least, we've got the dragonfly. Okay. So let's talk about the numerology vibration for the month of August, right? So 2024 is an 8 universal year because that's what 2024 adds up to. And then August is the 8th month, and that's part of that 888. That's a triple 8 this year, Lion's Gate energy. But if we add the universal year of an 8 to the month of August, which is an 8, we get the number 16. That is a karmic number, and that karmic number is about big change and transformation in a physical way, in an environmental way, in a situational way. One of the other karmic numbers of the 13 is also about transformation, but 13 often is about more inner transformation, death and rebirth, although it can be external. The Tower energy is more about external change and transition, although the Tower energy could be within us too, because we're changing in a very potent, powerful way certain belief systems and perceptions that we have. So both those karmic numbers are about change and transformation. But the tower, well, I guess that means I'm supposed to show you the tower, right? So this is Major Arcana number 16 from the tarot, and it is the tower. So in numerology, that karmic number 16 is like the tower card vibration. So this is about the structures in your life undergoing some sort of change, transition, tearing down so that they can be rebuilt. So it is kind of like a death and rebirth, but it's a death and rebirth of the external structures and situations and circumstances in your life. So sometimes it can be sudden and unexpected, as the lightning bolt here in the tower shows you. It's like sudden, unexpected revelation, sudden and unexpected redirection, sudden and unexpected communications. And it comes into really, again, in a very, again, powerful and potent way. Surprising sometimes way. It shifts your life. So this isn't, a lot of people think it's a scary card, and it looks a little scary, this image on the tower card in this tarot. But this is just about the universe giving you a little push, if you will. So if there was something all along situationally that hasn't really aligned with you for a while, and we as human beings, we get into a comfort zone, or we get a little anxious or scared to make changes. And this is the universe giving us a little bit of a push because we need to be more aligned with our authenticity. We need to be more aligned with our truth, our soul's truth. And sometimes we need that kind of rug getting pulled out from under us kind of experience for things to come tumbling down or toppling down so that we are then redirected to where our soul is meant to be going next, to where we're supposed to be, to move towards that, to be in our true and authentic selves and in the space of who we really are. So this is kind of the numerology energy of this month. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the astrological aspects of significance. So on the 4th of August, we have a new moon at 12 degrees of Leo. So new moons are about new beginnings, and Leo is about shining your light. It's about creative self-expression. It's about leadership, take charge, generosity, the inner child. So there's some new beginnings that kind of come into play around the 4th of August and for that moon cycle. Also on the 4th of August, we've got Venus, the planet of love, relationships, money and finances, values and self-worth, moving out of Leo and into the sign of Virgo. So Venus and Virgo, Venus being about love and happiness, and Virgo is more of that mental energy of thoughts, ideas, perfection, details. So it's not, I guess, the most comfortable place for Venus to be, but one strong positive keyword for Venus and Virgo is that the divine feminine has a little bit more discernment, right? She's paying attention to the little things that she needs to pay attention to. And so therefore she has more of that discerning quality in her relationships and in her money management. Now, also on the 4th is a big day. This is when Mercury, the planet of the mental realm, the one that rules our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications, turns to retrograde motion at 4 degrees of Virgo. Now, a little bit later in the month, and I'll give you the date in a minute, Mercury is going to retrograde back into Leo for a little bit, but starts out its retrograde journey at 4 degrees of Virgo. So even before the 4th of August, we were feeling this already when Mercury went into its shadow towards the second half of July. We're already dealing with some miscommunication or a need to communicate more and reiterate things clearly. We're also dealing with maybe some technology issues, maybe some vehicle issues. Mercury tends to rule short distance travel, so sometimes we have to do maintenance on the vehicle and things of that nature. So this is a good time to pay attention to all of those things. Information, because Virgo is a sign of information. It's a sign about work and that details and the information that's coming to us. So all of this has got to be managed in a more focused kind of way during this Mercury retrograde. And then, of course, we come to August 8th, and that's the 8-8 Lion's Gate. And so normally, every August 8th, we have that portal opening, the 8-8 Lion's Gate. But this year, we're in an 8 universal year. So it's an 8-8-8 Lion's Gate. It's triple. And I'll just say, there's a lot of information out there about the Lion's Gate, and I'll let you read that on your own. But the number 8 numerologically is about empowerment. Okay, so this is really a time to own your power, step into your power, be your own authority, and be empowered. And then on the 14th of August, that's when Mercury dips back into Leo. It's retrograding, it's dipping back into Leo. So now the Leo energies are going to be the focus for what needs to have a little bit more attention focused on them. And that's, again, leadership, take charge ability, creativity, all forms of creative self-expression, how you're shining your light, generosity, again, the inner child and healing the inner child. All of these things need attention at that time. And then on the 19th of August, we've got a full moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius. That means the sun is at 27 degrees of Leo. Full moons are about completion, endings, healing, releasing. So this is going to be with love given and love received. How are you giving love to others? How are you receiving love from others? That's kind of the Leo and Aquarius axis right there. Aquarius, though, also has to do with the humanitarian vibes, right? Coming together with people of like mind for a common vision, a common goal. How do we make the world a better place? So that is also maybe something where collaboration with other people that hold those similar ideas and ideals as we do come into play. Also on the 19th, this is kind of a big one too, is Jupiter challenging Saturn. So Jupiter is the planet of abundance, prosperity, expansion, higher learning, it's growth. And it's in the sign of Gemini. Now, it went into Gemini in June. It stays in a sign for a year. So it's going to be in Gemini for a little while. And Gemini is that mutable, changeable, not focused, not grounded sort of energy. What I've seen so far, at least for myself, I'm sure with other people it's different depending on your astrological birth chart, but with Jupiter being about kind of higher learning or expansion or seeing the big picture. And it's, again, kind of these blessings of abundance and prosperity of various kinds. Jupiter and Gemini is kind of bringing in a lot of little things, like a lot of potential blessings, a lot of potential directions, a lot of potential opportunities. Jupiter is the planet of opportunities. And Gemini is that sign of the twin. So there's more than one thing coming in, which sometimes causes confusion because maybe we want a new opportunity or a new direction, but to have, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possibilities, you're left with a lot of confusion about which one is the right one. Well, with Jupiter and Gemini, now it's challenging on the 19th, Saturn, which is almost the opposite energy from Jupiter. Jupiter likes to expand and Saturn likes to contract. Jupiter is about blessings, Saturn is about lessons. Saturn rules limitations and restrictions, and it rules the third dimensional reality. Jupiter wants to kind of expand out into a higher reality. So these two coming together in a challenge might pose, again, a little bit more confusion than just Jupiter and Gemini by itself, because Saturn right now is in Pisces. And Pisces, just like Gemini, is a mutable, changeable sign, which means you have to surrender, go with the flow, be open to redirection. And so here we have these two planets that rule kind of opposing energies coming together in a challenging connection in two signs that don't have any groundedness to them. So I guess it remains to be seen what's really going to happen there on a collective level. Maybe you already feel what's happening with that on a personal level. Again, be open to kind of many possibilities and needing to know for yourself, what is my karmic lesson? What am I trying to maneuver or understand for my soul's evolution and growth? And how can I not fall into a similar kind of karmic pattern and repeat these same patterns once again? How do I expand into a different potential, a different opportunity? And maybe I'll try this and maybe I'll try that, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, until I figure out which decision, which direction, which opportunity is the right one for me. And then on the 22nd of August, this is when the sun moves into Virgo. This happens around this time every year. So for the next month, there's a focus more, as the sun is shining its light, on the Virgo energies of work and service and health. This can be mental health as well as physical health. Also taking care of, again, details or things that have piled up that we need to, make those lists and kind of be proactive and get things done a little bit. It's more kind of mental work. And then on the 28th of August, Mercury turns back to direct motion at 21 degrees of Leo. So it's still going to be in its post-shadow period as we go into the first part of September. But by the 28th of August, that retrograde technically is over, turns direct at 21 degrees of Leo, can start moving forward. We can start to gain more clarity with communications or situations and events in our lives. And then on August 29th, Venus, the planet of love, moves into her home sign, or one of her home signs, which is Libra, where she'll be until September 22nd. So of course, Venus does rule love and relationships. Libra is the sign of partnerships. There will be a focus at that time on the connections that we have with other people. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. Okay, so the first card is the Adept of Flames. The Adept of Flames in a traditional tarot deck is like the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Fire. Usually this is fast-moving, passionate energy, leadership, creativity, because it's that fire element. Now the Knight, again, the Knight is young and confident and courageous and risk-taking. And this actually is kind of a risk-taking sort of card. This is more like taking a leap of faith. This is like going full steam ahead in a particular direction. This is putting all your energy into your creative self-expression, putting your energy into taking back your personal power, because we've got a solar plexus golden yellow light there, right there where that solar plexus is. We've got a golden candle in the background. So I feel like that might be symbolic of spirit lighting the way forward for us, that we are being aided with maybe kind kind of highlighting which way to go or what to do next with this wonderful golden candle. It's also symbolic again of our personal power, our leadership, confidence, courage, take charge ability, just like the Knight of Flames here, or the Adept of Flames is. So this is about moving forward. Now he is wearing kind of a purple garb, right? And purple is a very spiritual color. It rules the crown chakra. So this is higher wisdom and knowledge, higher information, messages from the higher plane that's coming down to merge with our own kind of inner authority and sense of personal power. So we're merging spirit with, I want to say, our positive ego traits. And we're using that to kind of propel us forward on our appropriate and aligned spiritual path. You know, usually the Knight of Wands in a traditional tarot deck is on a horse galloping forward fast and furiously. But this Knight isn't on a horse. And in fact, he doesn't look haphazard at all. He looks almost very grounded. He looks very self-reflective. So in this case, let's kind of slow down a little bit. You know, all this Leo, fiery energy, passionate energy is coming into play, but we're going to ground, we're going to self-reflect, which is also indicated by that spiritual purple color. Let's do some spiritual self-reflection of where do we need to take our power back? How do we need to be courageous and confident in order to move forward? Okay, let's take a look at the next card. Okay, we have another Flames card. This is the Ace of Flames, like the Ace of Fire, the Ace of Wands. This is a really great card. This is about positive, passionate, creative new beginnings. And again, the torch is lighting the way. So spirit is lighting the way because the flames or the wand suit is the spiritual suit. Okay, so again, we're working with our angels and guides. They're lighting the way. They're showing us the way forward. We're initiating a new beginning here. We do have to take action. We can't just sit back and let our guides and angels do all the work. So we do have to initiate some sort of forward movement or creative action. We need to initiate also some positive, uplifting feelings of joy and happiness and self-assuredness and trust and faith. Those are great keywords for the spiritual realm as well. So the fact that we've got the Knight of Wands or the Adept of Flames along with the Ace of Flames, you know, it's that fiery energy of Leo season. This is like 888 Lion's Gate energy where it's like, let's initiate or allow this initiation into this new portal of creative potential. That's a great word for this card, is creative potential. And let's move forward and see where the new path is going to lead us. I think that this is so far a really great reading. Let's look at the last card. The last card is the Adept of Orbs. So we had the Adept of Flames, which is like the Knight of Wands or Knight of Fire. Now the Adept of Orbs is like the Knight of Air or the Knight of Swords. So the Knight, again, moves quickly. In this case, he's moving quickly with his mind, with his thoughts, with his ideas, with his perceptions, and yes, maybe with his communications, which might mean that maybe we have to make an extra effort to kind of slow down and think before we speak, because maybe the Knight of Orbs might just speak haphazardly. In some ways, this can be good because we're just speaking our truth, but it's good to kind of take a pause if you can and say, okay, am I speaking my truth in the most compassionate of ways? Because the suit of swords can be a little bit objective, a little bit tart, a little bit sometimes maybe sarcastic in their delivery. And we don't necessarily want to be like that when we're communicating with others. We do want to be direct. We do want to state our boundaries or what we think, but we also want to have a little bit of compassion with how we're transmitting the information. Now, this is, again, you can see him holding almost like a ball of light, almost like he's envisioning, imagining, thinking up these new ideas, these new thoughts, these new perceptions of what he wants to do, what he has to take care of, where he wants to go next. I think this is part of maybe Mercury retrograde. But considering we had that clearing karmic full moon in Capricorn on July 21st that we're all still coming down from and witnessing what's been unfolding from. Now, maybe it didn't affect everybody, but especially if you're Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, or Aries, or even if because that full moon in Capricorn also brought in Pluto and Aquarius. So if you're Aquarius or early degrees, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio, it might have also affected you, that full moon. But this is like, now what do I have to do? You know, what are the pros and cons of this decision, that direction? What is the new thoughts, new ideas, new directions that I can kind of imagine and come up with here and create in my mind? And what he's got in this little ball here that he's seeing or imagining or envisioning is actually him being on a horse moving forward, which is, again, typically the knights in the tarot are on horses moving forward. Well, look at this Knight of Orbs. He's sitting on a rock under a tree, so he's not moving forward either. So here we've got one knight that's kind of in contemplation, self-reflection, taking back their power, maybe from situations and events that have unfolded over the last month or two. Now we've got this knight sitting on a rock, contemplating, wondering what his next move is, coming up with the best ideas or solutions in order to, as he's dreaming up himself being on this horse or steed, to gallop forward. So again, we might be still kind of collecting information. We might still be trying to realign our energies from some of the previous weeks' energies that have unfolded. Maybe we haven't moved forward yet, but if you haven't, this is about thinking about what do I do next? And it could be in any area of life. And maybe you have already moved forward, and that's fine too. But still, contemplate some other potential possibilities, and also envision, especially for the new moon in Leo, let's envision, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? How do I want to feel? What do I want to experience in my life? And kind of answering some of those questions with doing a little bit of a visualization in your meditation, so that when you're ready, you can get up off that rock, from under that tree, you can get on your horse, and you can gallop forward. All right, let's go ahead and see what message comes out depending on your animal totem of choice. Okay, so the first totem was the bumblebee. Special message for the bumblebee people. This one is calling my attention, sticking up the most. That's funny because it's bumblebee and it says jumble. Jumble for the bumblebee. And under jumble it says total disruption. Wow, it almost feels like the Tower card. Actually, it's number 13. And 13 is a karmic number in numerology that talks about transformation and change, just like that Tower card. But remember, Tower card is more external. This is more internal. So maybe we feel like within ourselves we're all a jumble. We don't know what we're feeling, what we're thinking, what to do next, how to proceed. You know, maybe you feel a little jumbled up. This could also still reflect into your outer life situationally, circumstantially. Maybe things are all over the place. There's a lot of things to have to take care of, but nothing's grounded. And as it says, there's a bit of a total disruption going on in maybe your body, mind, energy field, situations, circumstances, etc. Let's see, this is a new deck, so I'm just going to look at the picture for a minute. We've got lots of like these masks in the card. I don't know if you can see that. There's a mask here, a mask up here, a mask here. I mean, there's all these masks. So this could be a reflection of you over the last whoever knows how long, where you've been wearing a mask, where you haven't been completely your authentic self. And I feel like this is removing the masks. Whatever disruption has taken place is removing the masks of who you were guided to be, okay? Because this is, to me, other people or organizations. It could be your career and job, your boss. It could be family. It could be other significant relationships where you've been kind of guided to become something that you're not fully, that it's not your authentic self. It's what maybe other people wanted you to be or think that you should be. And maybe it got to a point where, again, you don't even know who you are. And you're needing to take off all these masks, and maybe it has to be one by one, layer by layer. Give yourself some time, right? Because it's not going to happen overnight. So that you can reveal your soul's truth, reveal your true self, reveal your authentic self. I do love that there's lots of colors in here, so this is creative self-expression. And I feel like this is one of the guiding factors is get into doing creative things. Even if you don't feel like you're creative at anything, you could get a children's coloring book and start coloring, or coloring mandalas, or you could do some pottery or sewing or cooking or drawing or painting or dancing. Again, even if you don't think you have a creative gift, it's not like you're going to go out in the world necessarily and share that creativity, but I feel like being creative is going to help you to figure out who your authentic self is. Being creative is going to kind of unleash or unmask some of the falsehoods that you've been operating through. And it can also help to heal the inner child, I'm hearing. So healing the inner child and being creative is going to be something that's going to be of great benefit to you as you move forward this month. Let's put that back in the deck in case somebody else gets it. And the second one was the cat-lion. The cat-lion totem. So let's give this a little shuffle and ask for the message for cat/lion for the month. Cat-lion. Okay, the one on the bottom is calling my attention. The peacemaker. Okay, and it says persistent patience. So there might be a need, even though all this Leo the lion energy is take charge, leadership, roar like a lion, be in your power, be in your light. There is something here about still operating from a place of peace and balance within yourself. I don't feel like it necessarily means you have to be the peacemaker in any discombobulating situations outside of you. But you do need to find that peace within yourself and then make whatever decisions accordingly to get to or retain that peace. Maybe you need to redirect or make some changes in your situations and environment in order for you to find that peace within yourself. The persistent patience. So you might need to be a little bit patient here. I'm hearing until the end of Mercury retrograde for things to kind of settle out. Do what you can to find the peace and balance now, but I feel like once Mercury turns back to direct motion, and then the next day I think it was Venus moving into Libra, which is kind of the peacemaker and all about balance. Libra is all about the balance of the scales. I feel like you'll start to come into a little bit more balance at that time within yourself, as well as maybe within your outer circumstances and situations. She is also almost like these feathery wings, and it's almost like she's dancing, right? So again, this creative energy of like movement and dance and sway your body and move your body. Again, you don't have to do it in front of anybody, but just put on some soothing spiritual music or other type of music that's peaceful for you or calm to you. Could be flute, could be guitar. And I feel like you're just needing to kind of move, because sometimes energies get stuck within our physical body in the cellular memory. And as we stretch and as we move, yoga poses could be good too. As we stretch and as we move, then some of that blocked energy can become unblocked. But she's got quite a gracefulness about her. So, I just feel like this graceful kind of movement is indicated here. Okay, we've got, actually it looks like a couple of suns in the horizon, in the background. So I feel like this is going to light you up and doing something creative, doing something, I want to even say exotic, to kind of bring in this idea of peace within yourself. We've got a little tent back here in the background too. So I feel like you definitely need peace where you're living. You need peace in the home. And if you don't have that, then start to think about what can I do or change to get that. Because I feel like that's really important. Even purging clutter, can help to bring more of a sense of peace and calm within our being. All right, let's put that back in the deck and see what the dragonfly people get. Special message for dragonfly for the month of August. Dragonfly. Well, this one's standing up. Ooh, Mother God. Mother God, miracles in motion is what it says. I love that. So this is the divine feminine, right? There is a card in here, although this is technically the first time I've used this deck, except for to do my own personal reading when I first got it and blessed it and cleansed it. But I know there's a Father God in here too, but this is Mother God. So this is the divine feminine. That love, that nurturing, that healing energy, the intuitive and psychic energy of Mother God here. Miracles in motion. So as we surrender, as we trust, as we have faith, as we go with the flow, as we move into our divine feminine Mother God energy, this is when miracles can happen, magic can happen. So this to me is about not forcing things too hard. Yes, we might have to take occasional actions, but just if you need to take an action, take it and then let go. And then, talk to your angels and guides and say, whatever's in my highest and best interest, bring it in. And let the miracles and magic just unfold and flow and come to you, because that's really what this is saying here. And we've got a peacock here. Oh, we got lots of planets back there too, but we've got a peacock in the background. Peacocks, of course, have, all those beautiful, colorful plume of feathers. So that can be about creative self-expression as well. That can be about higher intuition, because it is a very dark blue for the third eye, right? And then we've got all the planets that are kind of going on back here, little planets. And so I feel like this is showing a period of time with planetary movement and things that are happening. So I feel like pretty much the whole month of August can be full of these miracles in motion if you allow it to come in. I don't know what this is right here, but it looks like some feathers. And feathers, I know if you find a feather on the ground, it can be indicative of an angel, letting you know that they're with you, guiding you, helping you in some way. This almost looks like a fan of feathers or whatever. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's really something else. I'd have to read the description in the book to find out. There's also like a full moon back here. So I want to say that those miracles in motion, the full moon is on the 19th. So let's say somewhere around the 19th of August, give or take a few days. And maybe it's the whole month where there's miracles and magic that are just unfolding and coming in. But be in that kind of divine feminine Mother God energy. Be in your divine feminine personal power, where there's just trust and faith and knowing that everything's unfolding in divine timing, everything's unfolding exactly as it should for you, that the universe has your back. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and for all your messages on the videos. I try to go in every once in a while and answer those, or at least heart them. So thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those of you that check out my services. I've got intuitive readings and life coaching and past life regression and Akashic readings and stuff like that, all on my website. So check it out. Sign up for my newsletter so you can get maybe a monthly discount on one of my services, and hope to see you on the weekly readings here on YouTube as well. So sending you all lots of love and light and many 888 Lions Gate blessings of personal power and abundance. Namaste, everyone.